Recording will start in a moment. Amazing. Cool. So, thanks so much, Nik, for coming on and having a bit of a chat with me. Nik here from Beyond Realty, a buyer's agent, a bit different to what we do, and wanted to have a bit of a chat about how you are navigating this real estate landscape, what the difference is a bit between a buyer's agent and sales agent or property manager as such. So firstly, Nik, welcome, and can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the history?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Lucas, for this opportunity. Well, I'm Nik, Nik Hunj, but people just call me Nik because it's easier. So I've been in real estate space for nearly 6 to 7 years now. I was a selling agent before. I used to do auctions and sell properties in Melbourne. And then I saw the space where I used to deal with a lot of first home buyers and investors. And then I actually felt bad because I was squeezing a lot of money from them. But still they were ending up very happy that I helped them purchase a property. But whereas the vendors, no matter how much I would get them, they were never happy or satisfied with the sale. So then I thought that if I start helping buyers in this market, there's a gap. And then I gradually started working through some buyers and helping them purchase property, and they were very happy with the service, and because they wanted someone to help them and guide them through the process, because a selling agent is representing the seller, so he's selling a product. So whereas a buyer's agent is acting on the buyer's behalf to purchase the property on their behalf and help them through the all the technicalities and paperwork, and also main thing is saving them time. Most of them are very time poor, and also dealing with the agents, and they do it between work, and when the agent calls back they can't answer and they miss out on properties. They won't know if they're paying the right amount of price to the property or they're overpaying for the property. And this is where we come in and we guide them through and take the emotions out of the way. And though it's an emotional transaction, we take the emotions out and tell them that this is where you have to stop, or this you can go a bit more.
Yeah, amazing. So really started from servicing the client that is underserviced, and in Australia, buyers, a lot of it is left to themselves. So for them to make their own decisions, do their own negotiations, do everything without any help until it goes to the contract stage and conveyances or something like that comes in.
Yeah.
So with that, obviously, that's been a massive journey, and now you're still helping first home buyers and investors, or are you dealing more with investors, or who are you sort of helping the most at the moment?
So at the moment, we are mostly helping investors, but every now and then we are helping first home buyers, and we are also doing a lot of rent vesting, because there are a few instances where someone wants to buy a property and they can't afford in that particular location, and they end up purchasing a unit or an apartment. So where that is a bad investment or a bad purchase, because when they want to sell that, they won't make any capital there. So for them, we are going through the process of rent vesting, where they buy a property where there's huge capital growth, and they can purchase this property within the budget and still have a rental house. And then after a couple of years, whatever capital growth they have, which they can never save that kind of money, they will, once they sell the property, or they'll take the equity out from there, and they're able to purchase in their dream location.
Fantastic. So that's probably leading us into the big thing of what you can do compared to just the average person. Like it's those little extra ideas that we know of in the real estate industry, but not everybody thinks about. So like, how do you determine what is a good deal for your client, or what sort of criteria are you looking for? Probably more in the investment space rather than the owner-occupier space, because, well, people that want to live in a house, they'll fall in love with it. But in investors' space, it's more numbers, number crunching, look at the growth potential and historical facts. Like, what is a good deal?
Look, real estate is all about location. So the three things are location, location, and location. It's
Yeah.
always about the location, close proximity to everything, and number of owner occupiers in the area, and if there's any public housing. And there's a lot of checks we do as well. And even if you're purchasing for yourself or for investment, it has to be at the right location.
Yeah.
You might get the suburb right, but it might be the most neglected part of the suburb.
Yeah. And then,
So
yeah. And then the
yes,
stats, or what else goes into that?
yes. So it's always about the location. So we make sure that they are purchasing in the right location, even if it's an investor or owner occupier. Since I've been in the selling space before, I would put my selling agent hat on and see, okay, if we purchase this property, will we be able to sell at a good price in the future?
Yeah. Perfect.
If they want to sell it or if they want to take the equity, because it all depends on the demand of that particular property.
Yeah.
If we feel that now it's not sellable in the future, then that's a big no for us.
Okay, cool. So the location is more important than even sometimes the numbers. And then how do the numbers of, say, the rental return and everything like that play into it?
Yeah, the rental return as well has a good factor as well. I mean, we also look now, any property will get your rental because there's a lot of property scarcity. So we also have to look at the future, thinking, okay, in future, will the demand still be there?
Yeah.
Will this still hold on to it, and can we still get a good rent? And all these also matters. It's also along with the rental yield, capital growth is also important.
Yeah,
because
fantastic.
that is where you make the most of it, most of the money, where you can purchase a property or you can use that money to retire or cash flow or whatever it is. Rental yield will get you up to an extent. Good rental yield will pay off the mortgage, pay off some of the bills and everything, but it's the capital growth is where the main thing. So we look at a property which has a balance of both capital growth and rental yield.
Okay, cool. And then, so obviously we've working together a little bit now in the local Mildura market. You've got clients all over Australia. And what has been the draw card of Mildura to you or your clients?
Look, Mildura, I mean, first thing is there was a railway and it stopped, and now there are plans and proposals of getting the passenger rail services. So that's one thing, and the community and motorsport precinct, which is also being developed, and the riverfront redevelopment, and it also has a university there. La Trobe Uni is there. There's TAFE, and there's a lot of investment being done by the Victoria and federal government as well. So it is in that stage where you can buy a property as low as 350 to 450. You get a very good property, which will not cost too much to hold on to it as well, because the rental market is still good. And when the time comes up, similar like Ballarat or Geelong, if you take, for example, we were able to get properties for 200, 300,000 now. Now they sell for more than $1 million in Geelong. They're close to $1 million. Similarly, in Ballarat as well, now the properties are 600,000 and above. So this is in the ripe stage where you can buy and hold the property and then reap the benefits, say, in around 5 to 10 years down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I look at the stats on that a lot. Well, every month I analyze the stats, and our capital growth at the moment on a rolling is 4% per year, and obviously our prices in the last 2 years have jumped up almost 150,000 to that 350, 400 mark, where before it was under 300,000. And well, as capital growth compounds, that 4%, which was maybe 15, 20,000, now is 30, 40, 50,000 a year, and prices are jumping up. So maybe even in 5 to 10 years time, we'll be having more and more $1 million properties, and there's already a lot of $1 million properties popping up here. But who knows? Who knows? Mildura I still think Mildura is under. It's a hidden gem.
Correct.
In the way in the investment in the living space. I've moved from Melbourne to Mildura in 2016, and I tried to move back to Melbourne in between for 9 months, and we just love it up here so much that it always felt like home. And in that investment space, comparing to Melbourne, I just think there's incredible value for money locally.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot of sea change and tree change happening all across, and with also remote working capabilities as well now after COVID. A lot
Yes.
of people are also moving interstate and to regional cities.
Or prime example, we're so far, we're 600 kilometers apart probably, and we get to have a live chat face to face.
Yeah, correct.
So obviously with you looking at investors and looking at certain criteria, is there sort of also certain criteria of clients? So what, not just what client criteria you're looking for and who you want to work with to make sure that somebody is ready to go to start talking with you?
Look, there's two kinds of clients whom we deal with. One who's bought a property, there's some equity, and the bank or someone would have suggested, or they would have seen their friends purchasing investment property and they want to invest. They don't know where. The first thing they'll think is, okay, shall we put our property as rental and then buy one more property? So this is the common thing what I've noticed, where they put their first property into investment and they move into a different property. And for them, we guide them saying that no, this is how you build your portfolio. Because if they do that, they get stuck with maximum 1 or 2 property because they'll hit their mortgage cap.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool.
So that's one type of clientele, and the other ones are they know what they're doing. They're high net worth, and they want to keep buying properties. They don't have time. They want to buy properties where there's a lot of capital growth. Their main focus is capital growth. So for those kind of clients where cash flow is not a problem, we look at markets like Mildura, Wodonga, Newborough, and the places like that.
Okay, fantastic. So just probably going back to that first one, first person starting out that's got the property and wants to get into the investment space to build their net worth, their future, maybe even upgrade. So you're suggesting don't rent out your principal place of residence and then upgrade, maybe buy a couple of investment properties first and then upgrade?
Yeah, buy a couple of investment properties, then upgrade, or if they want to upgrade, sell the property, use the capital from that, because you don't pay any tax on it. You can use that cash, reduce the debt from the bank, and then upgrade.
Amazing. So there's a great insight there for the listeners. And if you need that extra bit of support and guidance, well, we'll link Nik's details to this video. There's probably sort of on both of those things. Like, what are some common challenges you face when helping investors buy properties?
Look, the common challenges now what we are facing is there's too many buyers, so we have to have a lot of patience in purchasing the property. First, the turnaround time was 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Now it's become 6 weeks to 8 weeks by the time we are successful with the purchase, where we sign the contracts.
Okay, so why do you think it's taking longer for you? Because is that when you're looking at sort of more metro areas? Because I say now from the selling side, our days on markets are longer. So it's blowing up. Average is 20. So why is that something more in capitals or something you're finding here as well?
No, not much in Mildura. In other locations, we are finding that because there's a lot of buyers there, and we don't want to get into a bidding war or pay too much than what it is worth. Because if we pay that extra 15,000-20,000, come 6 months or 8 months when we want to refinance and get some equity out, we are losing that money.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more sort of in those areas where there's an influx of buyers. You're trying to get into property early. And I'll say on our side, what we do a lot is, we've spoken a few times. As soon as a property's listed, we do a lot of off-market things. And is that sort of your preference as a buyer's agent to try secure the property off-market?
Yes, I mean, yeah, we try to get pre-market and off-market as much as possible as well. So that way we're not competing with anybody. But also when we say off-market, we want to make sure we're not paying too much or paying more. and we
Yep,
have to justify that with the comparables and the value for the property and the location and all
absolutely.
the, it goes still goes to the same due diligence and everything, and why it is off market. And sometimes when I was a selling agent, when the owners or the vendors or the sellers expectations was too high, he was out of the market, then I would say, look, I'll try off market, I'll try with my with the list of buyers that they have. If they feel it's too much, then let's not go to market, we'll probably revisit after 6 months or 1 year.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, and I'll say, and I'll flip that script now to you from the selling side of things of why because there's certain times I do like off market in the sense when I contact you guys because there's yourself and two other buyers agents that I deal with a lot, that I know that your buyers that you have are pre-qualified and that you're
Yeah,
going to make me a fair offer as such. And then it's the owner's decision whether they want to take that on. But also what I love about, say, dealing with yourself and the other buyers agents is you will give me an answer, yes or no. And the no is just as good for me to say to the owners that it's not of interest to you and your clients.
yeah, yeah.
So,
It makes it easier. There's no mucking around or bidding
exactly.
up.
And I think it's a different conversation when you're talking almost agent to agent rather than agent to consumer, because you can just be upfront, straight, and everything like that, like we aim to be. And there's no jumping through extra hurdles. And it's a very clear, easier process normally.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool. What advice would you have for people that are looking to invest in property right now?
Most of the, I mean, I'm part of a lot of forums and groups and everything. The common questions I keep seeing is, do we have to wait till the interest rate drops? Do we have to, when is the right time? The right time to buy a property was yesterday.
Yeah.
If your circumstances are okay, you can afford to buy a property, you have to buy it now.
So putting on, and now that follow-up on that, like trends and predictions, what are you thinking the future will hold, whether it be, obviously we're coming closer to Christmas now, so the end of the year, and then even what 2024 holds for us?
Look, nobody has a crystal ball, but we're not building many properties as the population is growing.
Yeah.
So whatever the interest rate goes up to, we still need properties. Either
Yep.
people can't rent, or there's not many properties there. So this property buying or the prices will still keep going up regardless of the interest rate. If the interest rate even keeps going up, people will still keep buying because they need houses.
Fantastic. So you're thinking, like the way I've been saying our local market is, it's very stable at the moment. There's no massive fluctuations. Things are taking longer, but they're still going really well. So you're thinking that as things progress, it's just going to continually go up, really, rather than any declines.
Yeah, correct. I mean, price will not decline. I must say, it's just that people, if the people stop buying the properties which are there, it has to be they have to rent. If they can't afford to buy, they have to rent, and the rents will keep going up.
Yes.
So yeah, we're in this catch-22.
Perfect. And on those predictions, you obviously looking a little bit regional with us in Victoria here in Mildura. And what other markets, what other pockets are you finding are quite attractive that you're looking at in the investment space? Maybe some insider tips.
Look, we are still purchasing in Western Australia, like Perth, and
Yep.
we are going a bit outwards in Perth as well, because there's a lot of regional cities in Perth, which is still doing good, and also Queensland. Uh, Even in Queensland, there's mostly regional pockets like Gladstone, Bundaberg, and Rockhampton. These are the kind of pockets which we are looking at.
Amazing, amazing. And any final thoughts or advice for anybody that you'd have?
Look, if you can afford a property, you don't have to go beyond your threshold. You always have to have a safety net. If the interest rate goes up, you still need to be able to service the loan. So as long as they have that buffer and are able to service the loan and hold the property, you can invest.
Fantastic. And always like to put this almost flip the script a little bit. Is there any questions that you'd like to ask me, because I'm on the selling side of things, or my opinions, or is there any questions you'd have for me that you'd like to get an answer or a different insight or perspective on?
I mean, what are the sellers thinking? I mean, do they want to sell off market, or are they thinking of putting it on the market? And what are they thinking now? What are your
The
main...
conversations I've been having for sellers is it's been very simple as such, and I think this is the question most sellers have is, I want to sell my home. How do I get the most for the property? And I think that is never changed. That if you are selling your property, you want to maximize the sales result. And the way I'm navigating that landscape is we've got to look at the different avenues at the moment, with being pre-market opportunities, like say talking with yourself, to going on the market, and even the change of strategy locally. So locally, we are very much a private sale market, and I think there's advantages to say going to auction, which is not common here, but that's also, there's a bit of a buyers sometimes a little bit unsure about it because it's not common, so they don't know what to go about it. So this is why I think there's such a great opportunity for us more locally to be dealing with yourself and other buyers agents to, in one stage, get an offer for an owner to make a decision on. And I think that for us, because the time on market is taking longer, the critical thing that most owners want is, does somebody want my property? And I think being able to provide them an offer, and for the owner to be able to make a decision on that, whether it be yes or no. And I've had plenty of owners say no to offers, which is fine, and then we pursue on and continue on with it. But for them to be able to say yes or no to an offer, that is the critical part. And it's like anything in life, you want something like it's the keeping up with the Joneses philosophies. Like that's why Louis Vuitton and everything like that is they're so sought after, that people want to buy them. So that's why you want it. It's the same. You want people to know. You want to know that people want your property. And then in the end, obviously, getting the result is, well, it's not guesswork. It's more like, all right, here's the plan. This is how we're going to do it, and these are the options we have.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So like I said before, I'm going to get your details and I'll link it to the post, but to the video and everything. But any other, what would be the easiest way for somebody to get in contact with you if they were looking to buy a property or wanting to get that little bit of assistance and help to buy their next investment property?
Look, our website is pretty easy to use. We have a booking link where they can book in to our calendar whenever they're available. And we all know that everybody works Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. So we also do after hours consultation as well, like say like 7:30 sometimes. So there's link which will be there in the website. They can click on and book any time.
Fantastic. Well, we'll put the link below. But that's it from me. So I really appreciate you coming on, Nik. And we're obviously going to hopefully do even more deals in the future. And I will get your buyers to pay a lot more than others. But I think we'll keep working really well together.
No worries.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nik. Cheers. Stay on the call. I'll just stop the recording.
Yeah.